There's a lot of discussion about DoorDash Girl and whether or not her victim can sue DoorDash. And a lot of people saying, well, she was an independent contractor, so DoorDash isn't liable, which that's not true. The victim in this situation placed his order with DoorDash, so his contract for services was with DoorDash. If DoorDash at that point in time chooses to use an employee and or an independent contractor, they are liable for the actions of that employee or independent contractor. DoorDash made some mistakes when they made their public statement, and because of that, he can sue DoorDash for defamation by implication, because when they came public, they said that they take situations where victims feel unsafe very seriously, which they said victim. So therefore, the DoorDash girl being the victim, him being the predator. And that implication, if it caused harm to his reputation, could get DoorDash in trouble. He could sue DoorDash for negligence, because if DoorDash failed to do a proper investigation before, one, deactivating his account, and two, making a public statement that they deactivated his account, that could go back on liability to DoorDash, because in them stating publicly that they deactivated his account because of this, without that thorough investigation, they actually added to the publication of this by a video on their page getting millions of views. Potentially sue DoorDash for negligent hiring, supervision, and retention, because if Olivia had any previous reports, any previous write-ups, or any previous complaints, he could prove that DoorDash should have done something at that point in time and not allowed her to continue to deliver to private residences. Could potentially sue for breach of privacy and data protection, because if DoorDash failed to make their policy clear and enforce the policy at any past incidents of somebody recording inside of a home or releasing somebody's personal private information and footage online, DoorDash could be liable. Could sue for emotional distress damages, because DoorDash making public statements added to the viral backlash of this situation against him. And so therefore, DoorDash has some involvement in how big and how loud this situation became and how much it impacted his life. Last but not least, he can sue for vicarious liability, because at the end of the day, DoorDash is liable for the actions of its contractors and employees, because his contract, again, was with DoorDash, not with Olivia Henderson, not with the DoorDash girl, but with DoorDash. So therefore, regardless of what one of their employees does, they're still liable for the actions and the harm that occurred to him. So yeah, the victim of the DoorDash girl absolutely has grounds for civil litigation against DoorDash.